my goodness, Denki, you're right on the money. 5 o'clock here, United States time. Actually, yeah, this is the same time I think that we have at my house in Illinois, but I am not in Illinois today. I am in the state of Tennessee. Now, if you ever get a chance to come to the U.S., Denki, I would highly recommend Tennessee. I would not recommend Illinois. I'm just being silly. Illinois has a lot of good stuff about it, especially if you like city stuff. It's got a lot to see in Chicago, but Tennessee is a beautiful state. Anyway, good to see you, Denki. I hope the audio is working because right now in Tennessee, I'm on vacation, and so we're at an Airbnb, and we are not right. We're right next to a road, so it's a little bit busy here, and the wind is kind of loud today too. So let me know if the audio is okay or if I need to talk a little bit louder. Yeah. Um, Denki, I saw your comment in come in by the way. So you literally just posted like the most random comment. I guess I'm not surprised, but like it was in relation to the video that I had posted about a couple months ago, and it was improvisation on the drum kit. So something along the lines of I think it was a Latin beat or something like that, and you just literally put in sneezed. Aw, thank you. And literally right after I typed this, I sneezed, bruh. Um, I didn't know what to make of that comment, but I welcome any comment as long as it's not any one of the. You know what? I need to write this down or just tell you guys what I found. It's an actual thing. According to like constitutional experts here in the United States of America, you can say anything you like, right? Free speech, as long as it's not one or more of these three prohibitions. And I think it's like obscenities, incitations to violence, and one more. I had it written down once before, many moons ago. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that though. Um, we're here to have a devotional. Hope you guys are having a great day. And yeah, again, so this is not my usual setting. This is in the state of Tennessee, a lovely country, and I'm really happy to be here with you all today. This is a special visit that we're making to the state because we are. I'm in the process of moving, and so it's a lot to take into consideration, but we're doing it one step at a time. We got a house. I mean, we got to we got to build a house actually. We just bought property, so that's a whole different story. And it's a lot to try to build your own house, but we're working on it. And I'm finishing up my associate's degree in Illinois, right? And so right now we're just visiting the property here in Tennessee. But once I'm done with the degree, then I'll be able to move with my family, and we'll be able to be together and have a good time here in the South. Now there is a lot to say about that, but I want to get to the chat part, elements of our conversation after the devotional, if you guys are okay with that. And actually, Denki, I don't know if you're still in the chat after saying hello, hello, hello. I really can't tell who's in the chat today. So I want to say hello to everybody out there. If you guys are new, let me know and I'll give you a shout out. Hope you guys are doing well. But let me just tune in here on my laptop as well, so then I know that we're okay. Yeah, it's just weird. Denki just said hello, 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 and then that's it. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it here. Actually, I'm going to change the, we'll go this way. Cool. Hello? Hello? Nah. Okay. So it's working. Yeah, so basically, we'll get to the chat part and everything later. I do want to touch on, though, devotional, so you guys are hopefully uplifted and encouraged today. But there's a lot to talk about. And Denki, that's what I was going to say. Mentioned a couple of songs last time, that last week, that was interesting. He talked about a couple of songs that he wanted to uh, have my reaction, I guess, for during the chat. And I was like, okay, we'll take a look at them. And they were interesting, to say the least. Now, again, I don't know if he's still in the chat. I think he's gone. But there is um, a song that he had mentioned that was controversial, actually, and it included. Well, he said that the person in question, right, um, was, I think, the subject of the song was transgender or something. And I wanted to talk about that. But we had a lot to do. We had um, I had to practice the drums. So I'm like, how do we talk about transgenderism on the Drumming Ministry channel in 15 seconds when I got to go practice drums? But we could talk about that here for now, and then get to the devotional. Um, but if Denki's not in the chat, like, bruh. Anyway, so my point, my stance is, if you guys are just tuning in, by the way, welcome to the Drumming Ministry channel. My name is Lucas. I hope you guys stick around, and uh, feel free to shout out your name, because if you guys are new, I'd love to give you a shout out. Um, the point of the streams that I usually do is to practice and to talk about what I'm learning, but also to talk about what's going on out there in the world. So if you guys, okay, you just got here. Okay. So anyway, Denki, I'm glad though that you showed back up, and I was just saying that, hey, we can talk about what we were going to last stream, which was about the transgender song. So, if I'm not mistaken, that was, I have it here in my Spotify playlist of songs that I need to go through. Um, I'm Sorry, Mom by Marino, or was it? I think it was. Let me know. But yeah, so the song was very, I mean, insightful from the standpoint of the village. Okay, let me just double check that. I'll just pull up the lyrics because I don't want to guess. I don't want to guess as to what's going on here. Right, by Rubel or Rabo, right? That's right, and it had this very nice piano intro, very nicely done. No, your mom don't get it, your dad don't get it, Uncle John don't get it. Yeah, and then our other user that comes by once in a while, and he's one of my dear friends, NJ, talked about saying, "Don't talk about Uncle John." I'm like, why not? Cause yeah. Anyway, it's a long story. So the song talks about how in the first verse the mom doesn't get it, the dad doesn't get it, Uncle John don't get it, and you can't tell grandma fighting a losing battle. Interesting. Kimoy Homer 498. Good to see you, and I give you a shout out. But I don't know what you mean by your comment. If you're fighting a losing battle, if you wouldn't mind clarifying which position you're describing or attributing to me, I'm okay. We'll just talk about things here and sort it out. But I wasn't. It's a little bit out of. You're fighting a losing battle. Oh, okay. So, your stance is you're fighting. Maybe I need some more clarification. Are you saying when you are, or which position would you hold? Unhappy by sorrow. Okay, we'll take a look at that in a bit. Are you saying, Homer 498, Kimoy Homer? Are you saying that you're fighting a losing battle with God if you are a transgender person, or if you're not? I mean, or which side are you on? Sorrow, no, unhappy by sorrow. That's weird. They got. Wow. Now that, by the way, was really cool. They changed musically. They, because we got to talk about music here. They changed the chord progression to a minor when they went to that chord. Every day we talk a little less. It looks like you are losing interest. These feelings I have for you, but you don't feel the same. So I pack all my things and go run far away. You are very pretty. I'm so very young. Now you're gonna have to tell me, Denki, is Sorrow like a one-man band as well? Because this is amazing. Through my heart. Wow. I'll keep it there so I don't get flagged by YouTube again. Yet again. So that is a great tune again, because a lot of things are going on. When you talk about, again, modernizing bubblegum pop, these guys know how to do it well. Yeah, he's a one-man show. That's crazy. And not supposed to. Okay, Denki, slow down. Man, we got a lot to look at today, so hold on a second. Kimoy Homer, when you come up against God with evil, you lose, but when you follow him, you win. And I tell you what, that's so, it's plain and it's simple, but Kimoy Homer, thank you so much for saying that in the chat. The problem we have as humans is we don't know the extent of our own devices. Um, we have a lot that we feel we're capable of doing, and when we come up against God, like you said, it doesn't work. And so we got to submit ourselves to God, and the life becomes a lot easier that way. At least for me, it has, and I'm sure for you guys it will as well. If you guys haven't already surrendered your life to Jesus, there is something to that. It's not just a cliche. But let me just save this right here. Unhappy by Sorrow, The Village by Rebel, and then I think, Denki, did you say one more? And Not Supposed to Be, and Not Supposed to Love Me by CG5? Okay. That is your last suggestion for today. I'm just kidding. All right. You're not supposed to love me. Not supposed to love me by CG. No, C. I said CJ5. It's CG5. I found it. Cool. Let me just say this. Denki, you are one of the most well-listened individual that I've yet encountered on. Listen, a guy that talks about stuff 1564. I do not believe that what you've actually said in the chat is real, because I haven't seen anything come in, and to be honest, I have not set up anything that would allow you to say that. So, like, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. That's just weird. Hold on. Let me double check. Now, okay. I am not making money off of this. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, a guy that talks about stuff 1564, Messi. I'm gonna put you in timeout because you're gonna spam my chat. But for the record, Messi may be one of, if not the best player out in the world right now. However, he's Argentinian and I'm Brazilian, so I have to not like him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and you're getting put in timeout. We can't have. We can't. We. I'm sorry. Well, I'm not. You know what? Ronaldo's good. Ronaldo is also good, but I don't want to say that he's like the best. Like, Ronaldo and Messi are both good, but Ronaldo is, again. I can't say that they're. It's Neymar. It's Neymar for me. All right. a guy that likes to talk about stuff 1564, I'm putting you in a 1 minute timeout because we need to be respectful of other people's stuff right here. Oh, Yamal. Yeah. Oh, sure. Yamal. It's all right. We got our preferences, man. We got it. Uh, let's do this. Denki, your last song for suggesting stuff today, Pompeii by Bastille. All right. Let me just figure it. Not Supposed to Love Me, a CG5. Great looking song. I've never heard of it, but let me just say this once again. You are one of the most well-rounded like individuals listening individuals that I've met because you see so much of the modern trends in music that I am astounded. You cannot listen to any everything in the world. So like thank you so much for your suggestions. And anyone else out there, if you got a song that you love, feel free to share it in the chat. Don't talk about Messi. Don't talk about you get my point. All right. That was Pompeii by Bastille. Yep. I love these songs that have like an epic soundtrack vibe to them. You know, a lot of songs are underrated in that sense. You have a lot of good songs out there. They have again philosophical. Denki, you hit it on the money. It's just these new songs have so much philosophy in them. It is insane as to how much we may miss because it just sounds like a groovy tune or it's got a catchy beat. No, there's a lot packed into the words. I tell you what. Okay. Oh, that isn't it? Well, this song by Bastille on the album called Bad Blood, and it looks like it was part of a movie, or maybe not. Sorry. Pompeii. Sorry. Well, that was a good song anyway. I'm going to save that. It has over 2 billion streams on Spotify, so it must be a popular song as well. Um, but anyway, let me just make sure we're all caught up here because sometimes I. Nope. That's not what I wanted to click on. All right. So, we were talking about soccer players and music. As a Brazilian, that's okay. You will check. That's all I can say. I like Neymar and Pele. One of my best, one of my best memories of growing up was like watching soccer highlights from former players. I don't know if you guys out there like soccer, and there is so many good players out there. A lot of them come from Brazil though, and over the past 20 years, we've had a lot, you know, um, of good players. Pele, though, I think has probably earned the title of the best soccer player in the world of all time because he was only 17 when he competed in his first. Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. No, and I think that was just the beginning. So yeah, no worries at all. No, that's cool. That's cool, man. Yeah. So the thing is about Pele is that you have like so many good players that have come after Pele that have done exceedingly well, but he was the first one I think that really grabbed everyone's attention in the 1950s when in 1958 he helped to bring Brazil to their first no, their second or third World Cup, and and then again in 19 what was it 60 or 62, and so they were just on fire when Pele was with them. Um, football is amazing, man. It has a lot of cool stuff about it. It's just exhausting, severely exhausting. Yeah. All right. So, I think we've settled down now for the chat. And for now, let me just say this. Danke, once again, thank you so much for suggesting your song recommendations. I know you take this I guess you could say you take this seriously, and I appreciate it because I really do listen to the songs that you guys put out. I mean, if you guys put out music, I would love to listen to it. If you guys shout out songs, I would love to hear it. And we take a look at it here. So, oh, we could just listen a little bit more to Pompeii, and then we'll go from there. So this is just the intro. These guys are from a different country, right? They have an accent. Where are they from? That's cool. And we'll leave it there for now because again, YouTube's gonna flag me, man. The cool thing I love about songs like this is again, it's very cinematic sounding, so you have a lot to appreciate when it comes to the orchestration of the band and of the strings and horn section, woodwinds, everything else. But there is there is a lot that is it's just fun to listen to because as a band, as a whole, as a production, you can groove with this. It doesn't have to just belong in a movie or anything. So anyway, Denki, I wonder, do you know? That's not it. I'm sorry, man. I have to say though, we stumbled across a great song. There was a couple times with some of my students that I would teach on a more regular basis now because I'm not doing as much teaching now because I got to focus more on school. There were a couple songs that we stumbled across because we had thought we looked up the right one and we're like, this isn't the right song, but you know what? We're gonna do it anyway. It sounds great. So it's just weird how stuff sometimes things work out and you just want to, I don't know, you shift gears. Other times, and I can't tell you how many times this has happened, it's been so frustrating. I'm looking for a song. It's not the song that I was looking for, and I can't find it. You know, it's just gone. It's like, you know, kind of what it feels or sounds like, but it's gone, and you can't find it anymore. It's the way it is. All right. Yeah. So Denki, maybe it is. Maybe it's. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. You're not sure that that's the right one. Which is I'm sorry. I won't be able to search for it now, but um, yeah. I think Kimoy Homer left, and a guy that talks about stuff 1564. Whatever. Yamal, Messi, Ronaldo. The cover of it is a tunnel. Interesting. I'll look it up one more time here. We'll find it. Let's see. Well, it's not a tunnel, but it looks like a tunnel. It's not this, right? This is like a kid running down the street. That's not a tunnel. Unless we want to redefine what a tunnel is. Oh, man. Any song that looks like it's Pompeii, it doesn't look like there's a tunnel associated with any of these. No. Any song that's called Pompeii is like, no. Oh well. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes you come across. Yeah, sorry, Donkey. You come across some of the craziest, cool songs on accident when you do this, but we'll leave it at that. Okay. just got to make sure I restart this. And I think are we live? Okay, now we're good here. Okay, good. Okay, so we'll do some devotion time just because I want to make sure that this is put into our live stream today in case anybody needs some encouragement today. And then we'll talk a little bit more about music if we can. So, um, a very interesting passage was what I read today because I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Bible, but there is a book. Yeah, I think you did. I'm going to double check, and then we got to go to the. It was called. What was it called again? I'm doing fine. Bye. Yeah, Reno. I no. And we'll leave it there for today. It's only a minute and 39 seconds. Actually, we'll listen to it after the devotion because we can definitely do that. But suggestions will be put on pause just for a second. So anyway, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Bible. There is, as you may know, a very famous king in the Old Testament, King David. He is known for slaying the giant Goliath, and he had a son whose name was Solomon. Solomon was an interesting individual. He had a dream, and God said in his dream, I'll give you anything you want, just ask. And Solomon said, I want to obtain wisdom. Can you give me wisdom so I can rule your people? He said, okay. Because you asked for a wise thing like wisdom, I'll give you wisdom and I'll also give you everything you didn't ask for. So, but here's the thing. Um, this is not written by Solomon. This is written by David. And, oh, I'm going to have to give me 1 minute and I'll be right back. We're going to be looking at Psalm 39 today. All right, hold on 1 second. Nope, I don't want that. We'll be back after this short break. All right. Okay, cool. So I'm back inside now because we he forgot everything he didn't ask for. Wouldn't he be a Jackie? That's a great point. So here's the deal. I'm gonna try to leave you like right there, and you guys are gonna get a glimpse of my bed. Anyway, so here's the deal. We have um, an interesting situation with regards to Solomon asking for wisdom. The thing is, he asked for something that, yes, is very powerful. So if you got wisdom and God gave you everything else, wouldn't you be considered a God? Well, yes and no, because Solomon was still human. God gave him everything that he wanted and everything that he didn't ask for, but he did not give himself. That is to say, he did not give God and godness to Solomon. The Bible does say that Solomon was the wisest person that ever lived and ever will live, aside from maybe Jesus, right? Because Jesus is God's God in the flesh, God's son. But we wouldn't say that Solomon was a god. He was just really, really wise and really, really smart. But in Psalm 39, his father, King David, writes this. Um, verse, we should just start. Verse 4 is when I was like, we got to read this. David writes, Lord, make me to know mine end and the measure of my days, what it is, that I may know how frail I am. In verse 6, he says, surely every man walks in a vain show. Surely they are disquieted in vain. He heaps up riches and knows not who shall gather them. If you happen to know the Bible to some extent, you would be like, this sounds a lot like vain, the word vain and everything, alluding to what Solomon would say later on in the book of Ecclesiastes. So it's after the book of Proverbs, but before the book of Song of Solomon. In verse, in verse 2 of chapter 1, Solomon begins quite drastically with his exclamation of vanities, saith the preacher, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. Father and son saying the same thing. What they're saying is, you have so much in this world that you may find interesting, captivating, even worthwhile of your pursuing them. So you want to do things to fulfill your needs and requirements and wants and everything. And to some extent, it's fine. But David and Solomon both agree on this. David wasn't even the one who asked for all the wisdom in the world. He already knew that every man walks, he says in verse 6, in a vain show. That is to say, they walk in like a way in which is futile. We don't know what we really want. They are, he says, disquieted in vain. Like you're always busy. You're doing stuff because you feel like you need to do stuff. And he heaps up riches, knowing not who will gather them after him. It's kind of like saying, I'm laying up for myself all of this gold and silver in my house and in my barn or in my attic or in my basement, and I don't even know who's going to have anything after this. So I might as well just keep heaping up riches. And do I know the show Young Sheldon? I've heard of the show, but I have not seen any episodes. And I think it's like isn't it a show about isn't it about a show of a boy who is really, really smart? I think, and he has like this weird family. So it was something along those lines. But I haven't watched the show, but I've heard of it, and so yeah. Let me just double check. Oh, so Young Sheldon. It's a TV series from 2017 to 2024, and it was a sitcom television series. Okay. It's a comedy series. If I just click on IMDb, it probably has a pretty good synopsis of it. Oh, and so Sheldon faces some unique challenges at being socially impaired. That's interesting. And sometimes it's freaky, but the socially impaired among us is okay. It's about Sheldon from The Big Bang as a kid. That's interesting. Some of us who are socially impaired are probably the smartest people on the planet. It's weird. Um, okay, we're good there. Yeah. So anyway, and if you don't mind me asking, thank you. Why did you bring up Sheldon? And nothing. I'm not accusing you of anything or at all. Just wondering. Um, are you saying I'm socially impaired? You know what? To a certain extent, all musicians are socially impaired. We don't have the ability to focus very well. In any case. Okay. So, um, you, you read the whole Bible in like 2 or 3 days. That's crazy. Um, yeah, that's kind of what we do. So, I'll give you a little bit of background of and then I'll finish up the devotion time with um, what I got out of this, and I hope what I can encourage you guys with, so that we make the best use of our time on this planet. Um, I'm of the background where so like reading the whole Bible in like 2 or 3 days. I was never that capable, but as a homeschool kid, that is something I can relate to. You kind of just if you're socially impaired, you don't have the ability to connect well with other people. You do things at home that are more suitable for your environment. And people, used to say as I was growing up in middle school and high school, they would say, um, he's not gonna be able to make friends. He's not gonna be able to engage in the world. He's not gonna be able to do things out there that he needs to. And it was a real challenge because as a young kid, it gets to you sometimes. So once in a while, I would get the feeling that I was missing out on something because I was being homeschooled. But I realized that if I had God in my life, then I wouldn't have to worry about anything else because He fills in the cracks, and even more so, He gives everything I absolutely need and even want at times. At times, it doesn't always happen that way, but God is good. So I would say, you know, he God really does satisfy the human desires and the heart, but in a way that best suits His plan. Reading the Bible in a 2 or 3 day time, that's cool, but what benefit is it if you don't actually take it to heart? So, in any case, I wanted to just really quick circle back to um, what Psalm 39 is kind of saying here, and I just wanted to encourage you guys with this. Um, in verse 12, David says, "Hear my prayer, and O Lord, and give ear unto my cry. Hold not thy peace at my tears, for I am a stranger with thee, and a sojourner, as all my fathers were." And sojourner is an old-fashioned word. It means like a wanderer, right? In verse 13, "O spare me, that I may recover strength before I go hence and be no more." No, he may be getting a little bit dramatic there, like I'm going to die. So if you don't come and help me. And I think to some extent though, David had to plead with the Lord with on this many times because he was being chased by um, bandits and foreign and enemies and even his own king, King Saul. But the thing that David does put his confidence in is his prayer. And so in verse 12, he says, "Give ear to my prayer, O Lord, and unto my cry." He knows that God sees him. He knows that God is moved by his tears, not because of how many there are, but because of how sincere they are. And so I want to encourage you with this, with the knowledge, with the fact that even if you're going through a rough time, you cry out to the Lord and you cry out to Him in faith. You you do experience the joy of the Lord, not the happiness of the Lord. The Bible never promises that. The Bible promises that you will be satisfied with the joy of the Lord and the strength that He provides. So, I hope that you guys have been doing well, are doing well, and will continue to do well with this reminder in mind. Lord willing, we'll come back and we'll do a stream again on the devotion before I have to hit the ground running again in a couple days, and I got to go back to school. Fall semester begins. Um, Fall semester begins next Monday, this upcoming Monday, and man, do I have a boatload of classes to take. It's going to be crazy. So we'll see how it goes. But it's all good. God is good. And so let me just pray really quick here, and then we'll get to some more updates or chatting if you guys like. And Denki, your song is coming up. That would be "I'm Doing Fine." Sure, he is. I don't know. It sounds like a ominous title. I mean, look at this. He even puts it in black and white manga. Like, that's not okay. Interesting. Well, we'll take a listen to that in a second. Our Father in heaven, we thank Thee for this time that we were able to have to read Thy Word and to praise Thy name in meditating on it and musing over it and learning from what You would have us to know. It's hard for us at times to be able to apply this to our lives, for us to be able to understand what it means even. It's the language is sometimes too difficult to understand. But we thank Thee that it is ever ever alive and speaking to us at all seasons. Because if we are honest, we read this passage and we're convicted, I'm convicted, that I don't take into account how many more days I may or may not have left. And so, Father, I pray that you would make me to know mine end, the length of my days, and that you would be honored in that. And I pray for my viewers out there, Denki especially. I know it's late for him, but I appreciate that he's on the stream today and that he was able to join us. I pray for all the others that joined and maybe are not now with us, but I pray for them as well. I pray for those who are regular viewers, um, and I pray that they would be blessed this week in whatever that they're putting their hands to. Please be with us again until we meet again, O Lord, and that you would empower us to live according to thy ways and not ours. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. And so, Denki, this one's for you. Because I'm back in the house, I'm going to put it a little bit lower since I don't have to blast this here. But yeah, this looks interesting, to say the least. All right. I'm doing fine. I've been staying inside too much lately. Probably contributes to my anxiety. Doctor says I need to get more vitamin D. So I take a supplement 2 times a week. You know, we all do need stuff. If you got inside my head, you'd see there's no point in going to therapy. That's interesting. At least that's what I tell myself, cause I don't need another purchase added to my monthly fee. Oh my goodness. Alright, okay, sun keeps coming up each day. See it through my window shades, it's alright. Just passing time. With the bass. Can't do too much anyways. In this small town, little way, I'm doing fine. I swear I'm doing okay. Am I really fine or am I just really good at line? That is, I'm going to read the rest of the lyrics because, again, I don't want to be flagged, but let me just finish this. I don't really know lately. I've been on autopilot and my mind keeps me awake every single night. I stay up late. I don't know how to sleep when I'm overthinking every little thing. But I'm taking my pills and I'm paying my bills, so I still feel the same. Guess I play this guitar hoping that tomorrow I can say that I'm doing fine. All right, okay. The sun keeps coming up each day. See it through my window shades, it's all right. Just passing time. I'll watch it fade. Can't do much anyways. In this small town, in a way, I'm doing fine. That is interesting. And you know the thing is, um, again, like Marino is a fantastic philosopher. He's speaking into the hearts of so many of us today. And Denki, I don't think we've ever talked about this. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? If you don't want to answer, that's fine. But if you want to just say like roughly age wise where you're at, that would be cool because then I can kind of understand where you're coming from. This generation has a hard time understanding what is its purpose and what are we doing? You know, you're 10 to 15 years old. And Denki, man, I don't know. It's we are so I'm about 10 years older than you, and I have to say we are living in a very interesting time. We are living in a time when I think we should probably be the most the smartest generation out there. I've heard statistics though that say we are not. I feel like, in fact, I've heard a statistic recently that said we are probably the dumbest generation um, in a long time. So we have some work to do. But you have an individual like this, and Marino, he's taking things seriously. He's putting them all. He's writing them down. He's singing a song or two, and he's allowing people to express their emotions through his music. So you can be like, Marino, you are saying exactly what I'm thinking. Thank you so much for making that music, and people love it. That tells you guys we need to work on this. We need to get, if I may say it like this, we need to get our act together because we don't have that much time left, right? As the Bible would say, we don't know how many days we have. We don't know how many years. So it's tough, but it is a great reminder because based off of what he did and what he writes for us to be purposeful about that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you once again for tuning in, and it's been a pleasure. We are nearing an hour. Man, I can't believe how fast time flies. But Denki, thank you so much for tuning in again. I really appreciate your support and everything. But the thing is, I also know that it's how late is it for you guys out there in Ireland? You just, man, I don't know. Uh, I would be tempted to just say hi and then just say goodnight because I need to go to bed. But sometimes we need to chat. So, uh, Lord willing, we'll be back later this week. Even though I'm technically on vacation, if there's an opening, check out my YouTube channel, and I got some shorts up there that I've recently uploaded, so you guys can check out some cool music. Also, I'm looking to give you guys more of an update as to where I'm at. So I wasn't able to talk too much about that, but college-wise, like I said here a minute ago, we're taking things into account with regards to colleges and everything. We did visit a college today. That was really cool. If you want to, you should do some game. You know what, man? I would stink at gaming. I would not. People, you know what? People would actually probably just watch to see a really bad guy play video games. But I don't want to do. I'm sorry. Maybe. It's like the extent of my playing literally is being proficient on the Wii Nintendo. I'm not even talking Nintendo Switch. I'm literally a homeschool kid from 2007 playing my Wii Sports. And well, you know what? It's about the vibes and laughs. If that's what it takes, then that I guess that'd be cool. But get as much as I would love to game in the first place, man, I don't have the time for it because I got so much like to study and like to work on. So it's crazy. But thank you for the suggestion. It might just be it might just be on the radar though, as we continue here in the drumming ministry. Because if there's somebody out there, I think there's a feature now on YouTube. There's a feature where you can invite other creators to like simultaneously have a live. That would be cool. If I'm trying to talk about music and somebody else is gaming at the same time, that would be pretty dope. Anyway, so um, we we'll see if I can collaborate with anybody in the future. But that's the thing. We're just I've got to look at colleges right now, and I got to get back to studying in about a week. So we got to go from there. But that's what I was saying. Check out the YouTube channel, and you guys can then see when I will go live next, and you guys can uh, make sure you got that queued up in your profile, whatever. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys soon. We are going to end with that for today. If you guys have anything else though that you wanted to share in the chat, let me know right now, and we'll end with that. But if it's about the vibes and the laughs, it there is. So hold on. I do have a hmm. There is a streamer. I don't know if he does lives a lot though. That would be interesting. Anyway, uh, we'll end with that for today. Stay tuned for some more live streams and videos coming your way here on the Journey Ministry channel. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for joining me again, and we'll get back to the Bible again at our next stream. Hopefully later this week. I'll probably be towards the weekend when I have some downtime like today. We're just starting out on vacation, so during the week itself, it's going to be packed, I'm sure. But yeah, God bless you guys. And here's the formal greeting that we established a little while ago. Goodbye, good luck, and may the good Lord take a liking to you. We'll see you guys later.